Sorry. We back again. We had a glitch here in my system and stuff that's created a problem for me, but I'm gonna correct the problem. I know what it is, so I'm gonna have to deal with it. Too bad. Too sad. Anyway, man, I hope you had a good day yesterday. We missed yesterday.
Man, it was beautiful, man. My wife, she done it, bro. I mean, she ain't cooked like that in years.
Oh, she had now. What was going on? The kids with the grandkids were there or something, or what?
Everybody was there,
Oh man.
and she fixed sweet potatoes, macaroni and cheese, big pot roast, rice and gravy, salad, you name it, greens, cornbread. Then we played some big whist.
Oh
So it was
man,
fun.
big family get together, huh?
It was fun.
Everybody had a chance to sit down and gorge themselves, huh?
Oh yeah,
So I know you got the itis and stuff as soon as that thing was over with.
oh yeah, oh yeah. Man,
Mhm.
Ed, I was thinking about this song, and I turned the song on. It's by one of my favorite baritones, Teddy Pendergrass. You can't hide from yourself, no matter how you try. You're gonna reap what you sow. And you say, well, why was I thinking about that? Because I think about these people that do all this, make these decisions on people's lives, and people die, and people, all of that stuff. And Ed, let me tell you, bro, you know, stuff catch up with you. When you done wrong to other people and stuff like that. And, a lot of things that happens, there's a reason why things happen. Whether somebody, and I believe this is a conspiracy, but I mean, in my opinion, I don't think he just naturally died. I think the man was murdered myself. That's my personal opinion. But because he was too vital. Now, it could have been maybe cardiac arrest, or I don't know. But if you saw Minus Touch, they went down the same rabbit hole that I did. They looked at possibilities that he could have done it. It could have happened. Somebody could have knocked him out. Iran, Putin. And one thing we know is that Trump is not a big Ukrainian supporter, and Ukraine is masculine. They are tearing Russia's ass up with them drones, destroying their oils, fields, all that. So people, the one thing that we're realizing, that all of these big time $1 million, multi-million dollar missiles and bombs and all that we're spending, they're wasting our money. You would think that these people, and we've talked about this a number of times, that our military will get with the program. It ain't about big bombs. It's about drones that can do damage. And the more that technology that comes out on that, serious technology, I ain't talking about no makeup stuff that, they get these people a stimulus package and have them start a company and make drones. I'm talking about some serious people that know how to innovate, create the type of drones that China got. that can maneuver anywhere and everywhere. We got to get with the program, bro. All this spending money and giving all these people these big contracts for these big uh, bombs and missiles, and that takes year, 2 years to build. We got to go with the program, bro, because I'm telling you, man, this is what's going on right now. You know, you see Iran is doing it. You see that Ukraine is doing it, and China already got things in the works. They got stuff that can do miraculous shit.
Well, I'm gonna give you the take that came through this house the morning that it happened. I had woke up Sunday morning and early, and I every time I wake up and stuff, I turn over there and I get my laptop, my iPad, and open up, see what the news is. I don't know why, but for the last year or so, that's all I've been doing. I wake up, first thing I do, get my iPad, see what's happening on the news. Well, popped up, Lindsey Graham was dead. He died. There was no sick period, no nothing. So you would think, just like you said, somebody, Iran, came over here and assassinated that Negro. Well, as I woke up and I went in the kitchen and I started fixing coffee and getting ready and stuff because I know the old lady gonna wake up and she gonna want her coffee and stuff. And she looked in at us, you want coffee? Yeah. And she opened her thing up and looked at it. Ow! God has taken over. The Lord has taken over. He's getting rid of all of our enemies. That was her take. The Lord is taking over. He's getting rid of our enemies right now. She didn't say anything about Iran, anybody else coming in there assassinate that Negro. Said the Lord that got him. And you mess with God's people, that's what you're going to get. So that was the take in our household when it happened that morning. But she may be right. She may be right. Guess what then happened? You ain't gonna believe this shit. 55 judges, no, 35 judges filed a case against Todd Blanche and the Justice Department.
Yes.
And they sent it to the judge and stuff back in May. The 35 judges, these are federal judges and stuff and everything who have retired, and they sent it back. And they said in their brief and stuff they sent to the judge that the Department of Justice was perpetrating a crime against the courts. Well, the judge who was in charge of the case, which is down in Florida, because that's where they found this shit at in the first place, because they thought that they were going to get girlfriend Cannon. Just so happened they didn't. They got another judge down there, and she was just about ready to adjudicate on the daggone case when these judges and stuff filed their thing against the perpetrating a crime on the courts. Well, the judge today turned in the order. It was blistering. First of all, they had when they filed that case and stuff and everything down at the courts down there. They filed it through the Manhattan District Court and everything up here in New York, and filed it down there. And they let another attorney and stuff named Woodward to sign the daggone documents and stuff, who was an attorney who was the federal prosecutor down in the District of Florida. And then they turned around and they had the judge asked them for an answer and stuff and everything to the case that the judges had filed and everything, and the answer was filed by a federal judge and federal prosecutor in another district and stuff over there, someplace in Ohio or somewhere. He signed it there. They're gonna think his name is Epstein. These people is perpetrating a crime with the courts. Girlfriend have figured out what they doing now and everything because these judges and stuff told her what the hell was going on, and she figured, oh shit, the light bulb came off. Man, girlfriend said that every one of the judges and stuff who was in that case can file to get their attorney fees and stuff paid, and they figured that each one of them going to make at least $1,500 to $2,000 an hour for whatever they deal in that case. All of them get a chance to file it and get their money, and Trump got to pay them.
Mm.
The federal prosecutor in Florida, the judge sent a complaint to the law folks down there who control his fucking license and shit down in Florida. She wants his license taken away from him.
Mm.
The guy who was up there, Epstein and stuff and everything, she already told him, I'm taking his fucking license and shit and everything right now. He cannot practice law for over a year because he had no business signing that daggone reply and stuff and didn't have anything to do with the daggone case because he thought that he wouldn't have to come down there because the case was already adjudicated. He didn't have to come down, so they made him sign his name because he didn't have to come down. She said, well, we're going to fix him. She went and took his daggone license for over a year.
Mm.
Todd Blanche, who is going before to get his nomination and stuff done on Wednesday, the date of my surgery. He's coming before the Judiciary Committee and stuff to start his confirmation process to be a U.S. attorney. She sent a complaint to where both his law licenses are at. One of them in the District of Columbia and also in the New York District Court there to take his daggone law license and stuff from him.
Wow.
And all that shit, she said, is null and void. Every dime that they were supposed to have been getting to the January 6th people, it is no longer there. She took it away from them. There is
Mm.
no money to be given to them. And she said she made null and void every daggone thing that they had agreement that they had made with the IRS and stuff and everything because they didn't have the authority to do and everything because all the people and stuff who were there who signed the daggone thing were personal attorneys to Trump. All that agreement they did with IRS where they cannot go and and file cases against them. They cannot review their daggone IRS forms. Everything is null and void. It's gone. She threw that shit out.
Wow.
Man, girlfriend got tough on him.
It seems like the courts are saving us, bro.
Of course, the same with us. But today was the day that Congress came back. The House came back into session. Guess what they did? Every last one of them daggone agreements and things, the bills and the members that they had planned on passing, the fucking Republicans threw that shit out.
Mm.
The $250 put his picture on it, the motherfucking passport, take his picture on it, name the motherfucking airport, Dulles Airport after him. They threw that shit out. Said we ain't doing none of that. He wanted his picture on the motherfucking mountain. They throw that shit out. He wanted a congressional marijuana and shit for peace. They threw that shit out. So Trump called Johnson, the Speaker of the House, over there to the White House, so he can figure out what he's gonna do. And the Republicans did this shit, not the Democrats. The Republicans did this. Oh man, this is too much. He coming down. You know, I got to believe their wife. Just said, God is coming down and striking these folks down. And that dirty ass Michael Cohen, he done came back and tried to make friends with Donald Trump again. I don't know what you think gonna happen with that. After Mother's touch throwed him out and fired him and shit, he said, well, shit, I gotta go back to Donald. Man, these fools are crazy. Oh, man. Poor Lindsey Graham. He done died. Now Trump using him up.
You know they're gonna put his sister
I know
in his
that
place.
Trump called the governor up and said put his sister up there into his seat, and he did. He put her in his seat. He went ahead on and made it official. He done put in the seat. So
What did that tell you, Ed?
that
That
tells me that even though this Negro is sitting there in that White House about ready to go out, these people are still sitting up there trying to do his bidding. They have not learned a lesson at all. Because guess what might happen? They still might nominate that man as Attorney General, even though the judge is trying to get his license, because you don't have to have a law license to be Attorney General.
that's right.
They still may push him on through, even though all that shit is going on and it looks bad for him. And I'm pretty sure that's what Todd Blanchard's hoping, that Trump got enough fucking power and shit to push his ass on through to make some of them Republicans and stuff sign his thing. But he got some Republicans in the Congress and stuff and everything, the Senate, who is looking to keep their seat, especially girlfriend over there in Maine. They probably lost her vote. You got whatever senator and stuff there might be in trouble. There's a couple of them that they might be able to force and stuff not to do anything. Kennedy down there in Louisiana, he might say fuck it too. I ain't gonna sign that shit. So they might be teetering on not getting him confirmed and stuff to be the attorney general. So we'll see. None of they all quiet because they still scared of Trump. That's what I figure. Because for him to have enough fucking power to call the governor up to South Carolina and stuff and tell him I need you to appoint his sister and stuff and everything to be his replacement and stuff, and the motherfucker he ain't wasting no time. We inside it and say okay, he appointed her to do it. Now, what is old Mitchie boy gonna do? I guess he done came out of the grave, huh?
Hey, we haven't seen proof of life, bro.
Hey, they said he done came out. They said they done talked to him. He done talked to somebody and told him. So all he did was he just fell down and he caught pneumonia.
Ed, we have not seen proof of life.
I know it. That's what I'm saying. They I guess he came
Anybody
out.
can put still pictures up nowadays. You know those that AI
Yeah.
and he in the bed, Ed, with blue jeans and a regular shirt.
Oh shit.
He's supposed to be in the bed, and his wife is standing next to him. Which she went to China, by the way.
That's and that's what I just said. He must have came back to life. These Republicans is a trip, ain't they?
They are a mess, bro.
But he's
You
going
know,
to.
they try to say that the Democrats are a mess, which, it's a big tent. So therefore, they got all kinds of ideologies and things that they want to do. But the Democrats, their shit is just raggedy, man. I mean, Republicans, their shit is raggedy. I mean, when you have a DOJ that has done the shit that he's done, when you have a person that's on the human services doing what he's doing. And when you have a president, when we've had all these disasters, have not said one word about any of these disasters, plane crashes, hurricanes or tornadoes, flooding, his whole concern should be the American people. But he don't give a shit. He don't care about the American people, not one iota. Only thing he's looking at is what he can grift off of. And who is to say that all those millions and millions of dollars that's going to be flooded for those children supposed to be? He's supposed to be in charge of that. How much money is he getting out of that? Because we already know that Dale had gave over $250 million to get it kicked off. And some other big time people didn't contribute as well. So, I mean, the grift is just horrible, man. And these people is allowing all of this crap to happen here. They are allowing all this stuff to happen. It tells me that something is really wrong with this system. And the thing is, when I say really wrong, meaning that there are people that put these people in office, and the only thing they see is an aura. That's all they care about. Republicans, Republicans, Republicans. They don't care what they're doing. They don't care about policy. They don't care about the American people. But let's look at it in a realistic way. And because they have allowed over 100 Latin people, 100 million Latin people come in this country, legally and not undocumented, because they needed workers. And it's not that black people don't want to work, it's black people working, but they ain't going out in no fields. They ain't doing those little mediocre jobs. Black people, I'm talking about foundational black people, don't want to be maids and butlers no more. Black people don't want to work in fields no more. And those people that are on welfare, and it's a small percentage of them that's on welfare and food stamps, that's just the way it is. But the bottom line is, the majority of black people, man, is working every day.
But we failed. You got to make a stipulation and stuff with that, Ted. You have to. That a huge majority of the folks and stuff who are getting SNAP food stamps, they working. They got a
Yeah.
job. They got a job. They are working, but they still can't feed their children, and they qualify for food stamps. So they're not paying them enough money to get off a food stamp. So you shouldn't be messing with the food stamps and everything because people are on food stamps and they're working. You need to get to the root of the problem, and that's to give them more money so they can be able to get off food stamps.
Well, you got to look at it like this. There are only certain jobs that you can get, and there's only so many that's available. I'm talking about that's paying $25 or more. $30 an hour is really the max, what should be the term. But Ed, if you've been working for McDonald's and you're 30 years old, and you making $15 an hour.
Ooh, you stretching it. You stretching it because a lot of most places and stuff they ain't making no $15 an hour. They probably getting 10 or 11, maybe 12. I
That
doubt
is
if they
not
get
going. That's not going to make
you.
it,
You
Ed.
can't. You can't. And the same thing goes with Walmart. Walmart has a huge amount of people and stuff who work for them, but a huge amount of those employees don't make enough daggone money. And what these jobs and stuff have done to keep people from um, getting benefits and stuff, whereas they be able to get health care and all the other stuff, they cut the hours. They only give them like 32 hours a week. So they don't have enough hours and stuff to come in where they can qualify for benefits. So they're giving these people probably 15 bucks an hour, but they're only getting 32 hours a week. Some of them be only getting 30 hours a week, just so they don't qualify for health care, for benefits, paid paid vacation, paid holidays. You don't qualify. You don't make enough hours. You consider a part-time employee. And a bunch of these folks and stuff were working for these companies that do it. You got Kroger's, Public, all of them, part-time workers. That's all they're doing. You don't qualify. So they still fall under that guise and stuff to where they qualify to get food stamps. But
Well,
now,
think about this, though, Ed. All of it is designed so that they can continue to make their profits.
absolutely, you got to take care of Wall Street.
So, so they have deliberately employed hundreds of millions of people all across this country. And like you just said, 32 hours, because if you get work 40 and you're a full-time employee, you qualify for all those benefits.
Mm-hmm.
That's at the corporation's level. They don't even qualify, and maybe they do. They might have set it up where they may tell them, say, you're only working 32 hours, but you do qualify for the 401k.
Mm-hmm.
Who
But
knows? I don't know.
yeah, but
But,
even if you qualify for 401k, Ted, you can't afford to put money into the 401k. You don't make enough
well,
money.
that might be true, but most of these people work a job, job and a half, two jobs.
Some of them, yeah, but even if working two jobs, you ain't making enough daggone money.
I agree.
Yeah, because you looking at housing, you're looking at insurance, you're looking at the upkeep of your car, and all, and the fuel costs going back and forth to work. You're looking at, man, there's a myriad of necessary items and stuff that you got to have before you even think about putting food in your mouth. Or if you get, or you don't, you can't even afford to pay for health care if you don't have it. Yes, man, they got they're squeezing us. They got us in a vice here. It's almost like a vice. You in a vice. You can't turn around. You can't move. They got you in there, and you have no other choice. And don't be. I ain't gonna even say it because most people are gonna say, "Ed, you're a racist." I'm not gonna even get into that. They gonna say I'm a racist. But don't come down here in the South. You folks are in the North, don't come down here. Think y'all gonna be okay. Unless you retired already. You figure on coming out here to work, you in trouble.
I heard this young brother on YouTube, or he was on something, and he was, it might have been TikTok or whatever, and he laid out a plan which is admirable, but he was saying that all you had to do was just provide $20 a month and so many people, and he had broken it down where he said that in 1 year that it will be accumulated $24 million, and out of that $24 million, you would you can do a hamburger franchise, and out of that hamburger franchise, you can pay your manager $100,000, your workers, uh, $60,000, and sell hamburgers and do 10 franchises. Well, the reason why I brought that up is that I'm happy to see that these young people are realizing that you have to really collaborate and try to get a group of people to come together and put your money together some kind of way. But the thing is, don't nobody trust nobody handling their money, bro, these days. You know, you got you got basketball players right now don't trust these agents. They're writing up their own contracts
Absolutely. Because they're getting ripped off.
because these people are controlling you. And then when you got a black person, and we got real bad experience with people that take black people's money and then they misuse it. That's in the churches, that's in business, that's in all different arenas. So the capitalism can work, but you have to have honest people. You got to have sincere people. You got to have serious people that is accountable, because what he's saying is absolutely right. It don't take a whole lot, but you got to have the people that's willing to invest in different things, to be successful. It's just like they were saying that we only own 1% of the farms. We don't have a whole lot of land, although we had millions and millions of acres of land 40 years ago, 50 years ago, 60 years ago. And most of that land has been taken away from us. So this is where the anti-black thing comes, that we as a people, and I'm gonna put this out there. Um, Tyler Perry sent money and helped that young boy down in Mississippi, his family. Several other people did it and sent money to help his family to find out the bottom line of this boy's death. And there are people that go out there and they go out their way and they give money to help black people. But that right there is that right there is sort of kind of the after effect. What these black millionaires and billionaires should be doing is setting up and talking to people, business people that have their MBAs and people that's they're honest people to start businesses. I mean, I heard Claude Anderson say, in Detroit, there's 46 filling stations in Detroit, 146. And out of the 146, 144 is owned by Arabs. And Detroit is what? 80% black, 90% black?
Probably.
In Detroit, there are a number of retail stores and these nail shops and all of that owned by Asians.
Mm-hmm.
7-Elevens owned by Arabs. There's something wrong with this picture. And what's wrong with it is that these people are able to see, the question is that those people are able to get money from their own country. They support them.
Yep.
But our own country won't support us when it comes to borrowing money to do business, to keep our business in line. This is the problem. The only way that we're going to be able to make it is that those people with money have to set up their own way of being able to distribute that money to help these serious people that's serious about business. I mean, it used to be back in the 60s and the 50s, man, we ran cleaners. Most of the cleaners that we had, we the one was doing cleaning. The inventions of cleaners was mostly by black people. And the Asians took it over. So the reason what has happened is that we have not been able to have enough savvy enough banks and loan people to support our. And then on top of that, white folks don't do business with black people. We do business with white people, but they don't do business with us. They don't come to our restaurants. They don't, a lot of, I'm not saying all, but majority do not support black businesses. You know, I mean, we got a ton of educated black people that's out there and they majored in business, a lot of MBAs, a lot of engineers, people out there that's doing business, but they have to work 3 times as hard to get a few accounts. This is the way it is in this country. So, and it's hard because now we have what we call integration. So we're everywhere. We're in the white communities, we're in the black communities, we're all over the place. So it's not like we're, gathered together. We might see black people walking the street all the time, but we don't socialize with a whole lot of black people, unless you live in a black community. That's the truth. You got a lot of black folks that's really out of pocket with black people now because all they socialize with is white folks. And they looking to make more money, make more money on their money. But like I said, man, the thing is that majority of black people doing okay. It's just that 15%, maybe a little more, 17, 18%, that is struggling, which is a lot of people. And how do you lift up those people out of the mud? How do you do that? And that's up to those people because, like the Bible say, hey, much is required, bro. Those people that's able to do those types of things can do it. You're going to always have your knuckleheads, and then you got people that's black, but they from other countries. And they don't care about real black stuff. They really don't. They don't understand the struggle that we went through, bro. You got a lot of people from the Caribbean islands. You got a lot of people from England and here and black, Haitians. You even got black Latin people. They can care less about black people and the struggle that we went through. Now you got some that really appreciate black people, but for the most part, they don't care. They don't care what we went through. They don't care about us that our ancestors went through slavery. Oh, that was 100 years ago, 200 years ago. Nobody care about that. That's the sad part about it. The thing is that Everybody got reparations but us. Well, y'all got welfare. Who wants to be on welfare, Ed? Nobody want to be on welfare. Nobody want to be on welfare. You might have a few people that don't care or don't mind, but for the most part, most people don't want to be on welfare. They want their own thing. They want a good job just like everybody else. They want a good place to stay. They want food on their table so they can take care of their kids and a good education.
Wow. Wow. uh, Something happened a couple of years ago, I guess. Right now, it's been a couple of years ago, I can say. But the the governor of New Jersey uh, got themselves a black governor.
The governor of New Jersey.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah. I
yeah.
know
I
what you're
mean,
talking about.
they have a black governor, Governor Westmore.
That's in Baltimore. I mean, Maryland.
Oh, Maryland. I'm sorry. Yeah, Maryland. Governor of Maryland, not New Jersey. Governor of Maryland. And when he became governor, there was a whole bunch of folks thought that because of him becoming the governor, that he was going to be able to do something about reparations.
Yeah. I
And
remember that story.
they called him on the carpet on that. What about these reparations? And he had a very unique take on that. Now, Governor Westmore was born here in the United States. He wasn't, but his mother was a foreigner.
Right.
His daddy wasn't. But he said that I'm not going to deal with that. He said we need every time that we start talking about this reparation thing, the Republicans and a lot of folks out there, even some of our own people, look have turned that word into a nasty word.
That's correct.
They have turned it into anytime somebody say the word reparations, man, it was almost like saying LGBTQ and stuff maybe 4 or 5 years ago. They
That's
were just,
correct.
oh man, they threw their hand, yeah. It's an ugly word. So he said to them, I'm going to do my best and stuff and everything to give the folks here in Maryland a chance and stuff to do some things. I'm going to deal with the graduation rate. I'm going to deal with putting some of our children and stuff to work and to doing after school projects and stuff like that. Something that's going to help us to get through and not wait on this ugly word or whatever people are talking about reparation because we're never going to get it. Because the first thing they do, if you do, he says, and he was right, because I thought about it for a while. I thought he was, that's fucking Westmore and shit. You don't turn over you a Tom. I'm saying to myself at first when he said it, but after he spoke about it and he said what he said, I finally realized that he was right. Because I remember several years ago when they finally got that issue and stuff there into the conversation there in the Congress. The first thing those Republicans did and some of the other people did was that we're going to do a study. We're going to do a study. And that's like throwing cold water on a brilliant idea. Like, cold water on a burning fire. We're gonna do a study. And they put money toward the study. And we never heard a damn thing about it since then.
Correct. Correct. Well,
So
the
that's what
whole
he
point
said.
is, though, here's the thing. The thing is that the tentacles of slavery, enslaved people, reaches all over this country and around the world of what our forefathers went through. The money that supported these white supremacists, and mostly from the South, but the North capitalized on it too. And it's everywhere. Companies or corporations would not be in existence if it wasn't for enslaved people. Now, they can turn around and say, well, that happened centuries ago, and, you know, the different things that happened to a whole lot of well-being people. There are over 100 little towns that black people built across this country that was devastated by white supremacy. Land was stolen. The only reason why we are where we are is because we had a migration. We left the South because of the Klan and the discrimination, the lack of opportunities, and we left the South. Now think about this. We left the South in millions of people. My parents left the South and moved to Chicago. Now think about this. When we left the South, what was the big deal what they did? They started opening the floodgates to the Latin people to work in the fields. They took our land, stole our land in all kinds of ways, you know, taxes, this and that, or you didn't pay this or whatever, you know, they were sharecroppers and all of that kind of stuff. So we decided to leave, and then we started working in the factories, trying to join the unions. Now, some of us made it and retired and lived a nice income, you know, and they lasted. I got relatives that worked in the factories for 25, 30 years, and they had a nice little retirement and all that. Moved to the north. But the point is that they ran us out of the South. We went to west to California and different places in the west, and then we went what they call up north. But it is so much history on that because what happened after that? It was school integration. I mean, although we know that the Board of Education said that, hey, no more discrimination. We are supposed to be entitled to go to any school we want to, no matter, you know, we're in the neighborhood. And then there was integration. And that was a big whoop-de-doo for years. Hell, they integrated my doggone child, and she black. Had to go to a black school. So these people are deliberately, and whatever reason, trying to stop the progress or the progression of black people. But somehow, because of our skills, abilities, talent, a lot of us and got our education because, thank God for the different openings of uh, programs for people to get into college and get their degree and be able to work for corporations like myself. And the opportunity was there, whether we was accepted there or not. I could care less. When I used to go to work for them, I care less about what folks thought of me. I did my job, made my quotas, do what I had to do. And I was friendly with everybody. I didn't care what color skin you had. I treat you with respect, and I expect people to treat me with respect. And that's what a lot of black people did. We worked in all these corporations. We joined unions. We did this. We did that to survive and then make a living, and form a career for ourselves. But it's a different day now, Ed. Those unions almost gone, bro. The unions, man, the unions was 30% of the workforce. It is less than 10% now.
Well, they destroyed themselves. They destroyed themselves from within. Look at the unions and stuff now, that's going on. UAW used to be one of the powerfulest unions and stuff in this country. You belong to the United Auto Workers Union, but they were powerful. They had money. They had big money. But all the folks and stuff there in the UAW and stuff got up in the upper management part of it, got fat and rich off of the people who were paying their dues. They got fat and rich, and the companies and stuff bought them off.
Yeah, they was polluting with the corporate people, and getting their money. But the point is that the salaries never kept up. Now I ain't saying all corporations, because you had some people that was in unions making 50, $60 an hour
Hmm.
20 years ago.
Absolutely.
So, but that was only a few people
No,
was
there was a
making
lot
that
of them
kind of
doing
money.
that. There were a lot of them making that kind of money and stuff at those plants and stuff, especially Ford. And I know they were doing it Ford because my daughter and stuff worked there, and shit, man, that girl was making 90, 100 grand a year working for Ford. They were making a lot of money and stuff there. They paid those people handsomely. But what they did to them and stuff and everything while they was in those plants and everything, they allowed them to make that money for maybe 3 or 4 years and stuff, and then they turn around and have a big shutdown, a big layoff. So you were laid off for a year or two and everything. So if you wasn't frugal enough while you were making that money and saving it and putting it in the bank, you were in trouble.
That's right.
And that's what helped hurt. They made the money and stuff, but the unions and stuff allowed them to shut these plants and stuff down periodically. Well, we're gonna shut down, or this particular vehicle that we're producing in this plant and stuff is not being profitable anymore, and they would shut it down, and the union would allow them to do it because that's what they had negotiated and stuff with them. And a lot of times they went on strike for 4 or 5 months. Nobody got paid then. So you wasn't getting paid and everything. So in essence and stuff, they kept a lid and stuff on the employees and stuff who worked there at those companies. And they're still doing it today,
Today.
the same thing. But
So,
now they have, like you said, they have made the unions and stuff almost non-existent. You can't
because we know that
you, you,
Florida is
yeah. You look at
right to
what
work.
happened. Yeah, you look at what happened with the longshoremen. What happened with them? And Biden was the president then when this happened. You remember when the longshoremen had their strike back there right before, yeah, right at the end of Biden's term?
Yep.
They struck and shut down these ports and stuff and everything. And it got so bad and stuff. They said, "Hey, They bought off the daggone president, the longshoreman president. Oh man, put some money in your pocket. We got to get this thing ended here because we gonna lose a lot of jobs here. We can't get this food inside this country here, and that's what the heck happened. Well, we negotiated something, and we're gonna be okay, and they're gonna give us some more money down the road. And then that's been 3 years ago, and they still haven't negotiated another contract. It's all over. And now that Trump been in power and everything, he done bought out the longshoreman's president, and that's his buddy. Man,
Well,
money.
the thing is, you
Money
got to look
buys
at,
everything, Ted. These people are using money to control this country.
yeah, absolutely, and that's the whole point. And like I said, we have to deal with certain retail stores, small businesses, and then be able to be profitable enough and professional enough to have all people. Well, give you a perfect example, and this is going to be my last thing because I know we run out of time.
Go ahead.
But there's a football player, retired, has a business, and he started a little business to help teenagers get jobs. But he has a elderly, I don't know what nationality he is, but he looks white, and he's the supervisor or manager, and very profitable business. But he owns it. He ain't nowhere around. Nobody even know. Nobody even know he even owned the shop. And that's what we have to do. Those people, black folks that got money, need to invest their money into small businesses. If you look at, and I've spoken about this many times, most of these little small businesses, like mechanics shops and this shop and that kind of business and this kind of business, they're doing $1 million, $2 million, $3 million a year. That's 5, 10, 15 employees. And that's how you build. That's how you build. You supply the need of whatever that need may be, whether it be a game arena or a clothing store or a small grocery store or a small retail store or something like that. And those businesses, people participate. You don't have to tell, nobody knows who owns those particular small businesses. And that's what our people who have the opportunity, who have the money, who have built their wealth up and made their wealth in some other kind of arena, whether it's entertainment, athletically, or whatever, or maybe even investments. We have to build businesses, small businesses, and run those businesses tight. I think the classic example is Magic Johnson and a few others that's doing that. And I think, and it's a slow process, but I think that we have finally woken up to realize this is what we have to do. And then hire black people and give them a good rate, salary. And you have to hire all people. You can't just hire black people. But we have been here long enough to run our own shops. Like I just said, I made a statement earlier. 144 gas stations is owned by Arabs. 2 is owned by black people. I don't know, we've been got the memo, but the point is that it's a matter of capital. That's the bottom line is it takes capital to run a business and take opportunity, it takes support, people to help you get your business off the ground. And these white folks ain't gonna help you. They'll help you to a certain degree, but that's it. We have to help each other. I mean, when I say we, I'm talking about these multimillionaires that's running around here with 50 million, $100 million, and what have you, and and you constantly making $5 and $10 million a year, and you're not giving back.
Hmm. I don't have any more to put into that because I guess you would look at Detroit as a microcosm of some of the other big cities and stuff around the country.
Yeah, that's all you got to do is
That's
look
a
at the
that's
other big
a that's a
cities.
you can take what's going on there, and you can put it in any big city here in the United States, and the same thing is going on. Same thing. The foreigners and stuff own all the gas stations and the little small stores, and we don't own nothing.
And they got capital, they got people to back them up.
Mm, And they will
So
take the pennies, nickels, and dimes and stuff that come out of the neighborhoods and send that money back home.
there you go. There it is.
So that's where it is, people. Anyway, we'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a good day. Before we go, I have one thing I want to say. Our president is going, every day he's going crazy and crazy and crazy. Well, today he's put out a notice and told the world that he's opening the straits back up and to let the oil through, but he's going to collect the tolls now. 20% of Chicago. He said, I'm collecting the tolls now,
This
20% of
man is so
Chicago.
full of shit.
He got called absolutely nuts. The country is falling apart. Gas is going up sky high right now. He talking about collecting the toll. I'm gonna be the toll now, cause he said so. I'm gonna protect all of you guys. He can't even protect his own bases. And people look out. He just came before Congress and told them he needed $350 billion for the military. They are broke. They done went through their $1 trillion. Matter of fact, they owe some money. So he asking for $350 billion. Told Congress he need that money to keep the war going.
Your Secretary of Treasury is scheming and demon.
Is he
You
gonna? If these fools gonna? I hope these fools don't let him have that damn money. $350 billion gonna. That would be the killing. That would cut us completely dead. That would be the coup de grace for our economy. Giving that knucklehead $350 billion this year, on top of that trillion that he had already blew through. People, look out. That man he's ready to wreck this country, and I hope these fools up there in Congress don't let him do it. Talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye bye.